Okay, so when I say digestive system, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably your stomach, right? But that's just one tiny piece of a much, much bigger story. We're talking about a story of survival, of incredible innovation, and millions of years of fine-tuning. Welcome to Silverlight Education. In this lecture, we're diving into Unit 3 of the BZYCT 133 course, and we're going to get right into it, exploring how evolution has shaped the amazing and sometimes downright bizarre ways that animals get their food. Because really, that's the best way to think about it. The digestive system isn't just a quiet process happening inside an animal. It's an evolutionary battlefield. Every single species has had to develop its own unique tools and strategies just to get enough energy to live another day. So let's start at the very beginning of the process. And that means we're starting with an animal's most important tools, its teeth. Seriously, you can learn almost everything you need to know about an animal just by looking inside its mouth. It's a story told in teeth. When it comes to tooth design, nature really has two main blueprints. First up, you've got homodonts. Think of a dolphin. All its teeth are basically identical shark cones. They have one job and one job only. Grab hold of a slippery fish and don't let go. But then you have heterodonts, which is what we are. Our mouths are like a full-on multi-tool with specialized teeth for every job. Incisors for cutting, canines for tearing, and molars for grinding it all down. So what about when a tooth breaks? Well, if you're a polyphyodont, like a shark, you just don't care. They have what's basically a conveyor belt of teeth, with new ones constantly moving up to replace the old ones. It's incredible. But for us diphyodonts, that's most mammals, we only get two chances. You get your baby teeth, and then your permanent set. And that's it. You gotta make them last. And this is where evolution gets really creative. It takes these basic tools and re-engineers them for specific jobs. Herbivores needed to grind down tough plants, so they evolved these wide, flat molars. Carnivores needed to slice through meat, so they developed these amazing scissor-like teeth called carnassials. And sometimes the tools get a completely new purpose. You know, an elephant's tusks? Those aren't special teeth. They're just massively overgrown incisors turned into weapons. A walrus's tusks? Same idea, but with its canine teeth. Okay, so having the right tools is one thing, but how animals use them? Well, that's where you see some of nature's most brilliant and ingenious engineering at play. You know, trying to catch something underwater is tough, so a lot of fish just skip the chase and use what's basically a biological vacuum cleaner. They expand their mouths so incredibly fast that it creates a sudden drop in pressure, and whoosh, the prey gets sucked in with a rush of water. It all happens in the blink of an eye. And check this out. A frog's tongue is a total marvel of engineering. Unlike our tongues, which are attached at the back, a frog's is attached right at the front. This lets it whip its entire tongue out with lightning speed and precision. It's literally the perfect sticky trap. But if we're talking about superpowers, it's pretty hard to top a snake. See, the two halves of their lower jaw aren't fused together at the chin, and the whole structure is only loosely connected to the skull. This allows them to stretch their mouths to an almost unbelievable size, swallowing prey that is way, way bigger than their own head. It's just wild to watch. Birds, on the other hand, went in a different direction. They got rid of teeth entirely and went all in on beaks. And this led to this incredible explosion of diversity, a perfect example of what we call adaptive radiation. You've got herons with long spear-like beaks for stabbing fish, and then you have sparrows with short, powerful beaks that are perfect for cracking open seeds, a different tool for every single menu item. All right, so you've caught the food. That's only half the battle. Now the real magic has to happen inside the body, in this amazing biological factory we call the digestive tract. Let's take a look at how this internal disassembly line actually works. Believe it or not, no matter what animal you're looking at, from a fish to a lion, the digestive process follows the same 4 basic steps. Step 1, you take the food in, ingestion. Step 2, you move it down the line and store it. Step 3, you break it all down and absorb the good stuff. And finally, step 4, you get rid of whatever's left over. Sounds simple, right? Well, the designs behind these steps are anything but. And here is the absolute key, the #1 rule. An animal's gut is custom built for its diet. A carnivore's intestines, they're short and simple because meat is actually pretty easy to break down. It's a fast process. But a herbivore, their intestines are super long and incredibly complex because breaking down tough plant material takes a lot more time and a lot more work. To get that job done, many herbivores have a secret weapon called the cecum. It's this pouch that basically acts as a built-in fermentation tank. It's filled with billions of helpful microbes that do all the hard work of breaking down cellulose. That's the super tough stuff that makes up plant cell walls, so the animal can finally get to the nutrients locked inside.
But what if your entire diet is just grass, something that's incredibly difficult to digest? Well, for that, you need the most advanced system of all. You need the ultimate grass processing plant, the ruminant stomach.
That's right. Animals like cows and sheep don't just have one stomach, they have 4 separate chambers. First, grass goes into the rumen, which is just this huge fermenting vat. Then it moves to the reticulum, where it gets packed into little balls of cud, which gets sent all the way back up to be chewed a second time. Once it's swallowed again, it goes to the omasum to have water squeezed out, and finally it reaches the abomasum, the true stomach, where the final digestion happens. It is an absolutely incredible system. So after looking at all of this, from vacuum cleaner mouths to 4-chambered stomachs, what's the one big lesson here? What's the main takeaway from this whole journey? It all comes down to one core principle. Design always follows function. An animal's entire body, from the tips of its teeth to the end of its intestines, is a perfect solution that has been engineered by evolution to solve one problem: how to get energy from its specific diet.
So the next time you see an animal eating, any animal at all, just take a second to think about it. You're not just watching it have a snack. You are literally witnessing millions of years of evolution, a living story written in every single detail of its body.
We will meet you in the next lecture.